I think I am live now. Sorry guys, I did not realize it is already 6 o'clock and I was just looking up on my cell phone. Anyways, well, I am here. So I just want to check if everybody is receiving audio. Yes, so audio is there, so I'm good to go. So negotiations are the most essential and important component of any real estate transaction. So I hear that all the time, that you cannot negotiate more than what neighbor sold the house for. And to some extent, well, true, but then there are so many dynamics. So let's talk about those dynamics. I do not care what your neighbor's house sold for, because like I just said, there are tons and tons of dynamics to that. Motivation of your neighbor is important thing. Was he extremely motivated? Did he have a tight timeline? How was his agent producing the results? Was marketing good enough that he could attract more buyers on the property? So needless to speak on the marketing techniques, because that's not the scope of this discussion or my little speech with you guys. What I want to say, if your neighbor sold for less money does not mean you have to sell your property for the same less amount and that no agent can help you out with that. Definitely we can do that. I have experienced this thing many times, that neighbors sold for less but we sold for way more. I'm not saying I'm a best negotiator, but there are many other people within your community who are great agents, and you just have to find them out who are good at negotiation. So whenever I hear of someone telling me, oh, they got a bad experience, they didn't get that best offer, the professional promised them that he will get the sky for them, but eventually they fell in dirt. Well, I have nothing to say on that, because people don't know what to ask a real estate agent when they hire him. And I have been saying it relentlessly for the past many years. You need to know the right answers, or sorry, the right questions to ask. All people ask is, how much commission will you charge? And that's not the right answer. So when you shift your focus on what agent's taking home to what you will net after transaction, this is really important. And when you beat an agent on commission, what you are doing is negotiating with him. So the negotiation starts right there. Even the agent hasn't set up a sign up on your property, but now you are negotiating. And guess what? If an agent gives you his commission like drop of a hat, then I would very much evaluate my other options. Because don't take me wrong, I have no intention to offend anybody's negotiation abilities, but what I'm saying here is, if you as someone who is not trained in negotiations can beat down an agent whose job is to get you the best negotiated price, then well, think of alternative options, because there are so many things. Anybody can list a house, but many people who successfully sell their houses for more money in shortest possible time period are those people who focus only on two things, which is marketing ability of their agent, and the second is how good is he in negotiating and upholding his stand. If a professional can fall in front of a seller, then guess what? There could be someone highly trained individual, very aggressive, because sometime on negotiations it is bullying, it is tactics, it's a strategy, and all those things. So now let's move forward to this, because negotiation is integral part. Many people think that negotiations start on when someone brings in an offer. Well, that's not true, because negotiations start way before that. What we just talked was between seller and their agent before hiring. But once an agent is hired to do the job for you, the negotiation begins right after the for sale sign goes up on your property. Someone calls up, says, hey, I just saw your for sale sign on the property, and mind it, some wouldn't even have seen the property on MLS yet because it's not there. So now, seeing the sign, giving the first call is nothing but a subtle negotiation. So what are the most what are the least dangerous questions buyers or other agents ask a homeowner's agent, that's a listing agent? They go like this: hey, I see your house went up for sale on this and this street. Can I ask you a simple question? When do your clients want to move by? So now this is nothing but a negotiation, trying to find a motivation out of the whole scenario. Well, this is what I consider it. It is very subtle but very powerful negotiation technique used by many agents who know their business very well. And sometimes the next seemingly simple question is, hey, are your clients negotiable on the price or they're firm on it? Now, the way your representative responds to these questions will determine the ultimate outcome. Do you agree with me or not? Because this is where we figure out how we are going to work on this. And sometime we look at this thing on the MLS listing, and we can kind of figure out, we can read between the lines on the MLS listing. It tells me how the agent and sellers are motivated to move this house. This is where my negotiation comes in picture. So this was from the seller side. What about buyer side? So buyer's negotiation, they begin right when buyer calls you up and says he wants to see this house, 123 Main Street. This is a very common address used as an example. So now what happens is, listing agent knows that I booked an appointment, I have a buyer, now everybody's alert. And next call I get from the listing agent, or if not the call, maybe a seemingly simple email about feedback. That feedback is what is negotiation from buyer's perspective. So agents have to be very aware on what they send out. It's good to provide feedback. I'm not saying agents should not do that, but it's a very good place for a listing agent to figure out how they are going to look at it. Give me 1 second, my battery needs changing. I will come back. Sorry. The battery has died on me. Give me 1 second and I will be back in a second. Sorry for this little glitch. I didn't know that this would happen so fast. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm still here. Please bear with me. I'm just removing my microphone and getting my battery. This is what a chaos. Thank you. Are we back again? I guess you are hearing the audio, but for weird reason, I think the video has stopped because the camera has to be rebooted. Sorry for this. Let me fix this up. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry for this. I might even start it again. Oh my God, I took it lightly. So I'm back again. Sorry, I did not notice my battery died on me, and actually it was fine when I last checked it. Give me 1 second, please. Let me adjust the focus. Yes, so here I am. So for buyer's negotiation, it starts when an agent gives feedback to the listing agent. So now these negotiations are happening before the offer is written. There's nothing as such. There's no offer. We don't even know if there will be an offer or not, but people have set expectations and the grounds for moving forward. Now, the second round of negotiations is when there is an offer. So during the offer, it is a highly technical and it's a complicated process. So I know when I'm saying this, I can see some people laugh at it or even smirk because they don't think it is complicated, because they see it's only a couple clauses and that's all, and we go like this. Well, let me tell you this thing. Whatever you agree at this point in time on the table is what's going to haunt you if you are not careful enough. For example, if you are assuming a tenancy, like if you are a seller giving a property where tenants are living and buyer is okay to assume it, but again a little line somewhere in the offer saying vacant possession will be given has to be struck down. Some people do not do that. It is ambiguous because on the schedule you are saying yes, I am ready to assume it, but you forgot to delete that line on page first of the offer that actually says completion on date is this and the seller will provide a vacant possession. So guess what? Now you have done something which is subject to many interpretations and subject of dispute. So this is during negotiation that you have to be very, very clear and particular. You have to go through each and every line, go through it, because it doesn't doesn't look nice if we put clients in such a situation, because at negotiation we did not pay attention. Now price is one thing, but other than that, negotiation is what happens is between agent to agent, agent to seller to agent, and agent to his buyer. There are so many complexities involved, and don't tell me that it is an easy process. It is not. If you are looking at some professional who will be very diligent, he will pay way more attention, because sometimes seemingly simple offers can put you to trouble because you took it to be an easy one and took it for granted. Don't be. This is where agent's role comes in picture. So when people do their own offers, the seller selling off his seller selling his own house and buyer buying directly. I don't want to go there because nobody knows how the negotiations work and where the deposit is going and how the deposit will be treated. Well, so this negotiation we are all aware of because we are party to it. We see it happening right in front of our eyes. Yes, that is a negotiation. That is only little part agent is doing. What people do not realize is right from the property went on sale, the sign went up, right to this point is tremendous amount of negotiation involved on every phone call that we receive. Agents stand, the way agent replies is what makes a huge difference to the other party listening and receiving the information. That tells long story to me that can I beat the seller down on this price? Can I lure the other party to accept my lower offer? Can I do something better for my client? This is what another agent who's bringing offer will be assuming during negotiation. So before and during negotiations, sometimes I don't make sense. Just disregard those sentences or lines. Now, after offer has been accepted, negotiations haven't ended yet. They will keep flowing to the end till the completion is done. So now there is an inspection clause. Some buyers will give you high price if they are competing against other offers, but now that everybody is aware his offer is the only offer on the table, they will come back with funny proposals during inspection. So now it depends how you handle that particular part of negotiation. Because now when the offer isn't accepted, buyers and sellers are always like enemies. Once the offer is accepted, buyers and sellers, they become friends. Seller want to leave property in good condition, buyers want to complete the offer, but someone down the line will try to misuse this emotional state of mind. How? Well, X dollars are needed as credit because home inspector found this thing, and many things, believe me, will be visible and many things will be considered by the listing agent at the time of listing appointment, setting the price. So you need to tell it clearly where do you stand on that request. A firm, soft, inviting. At the end of the day, we do not want anyone to be annoyed, and we need to make sure we guard our words very well. Offending someone's ego could lose an offer even if this is the best offer, and I have seen that happening. I have seen scenarios where someone just removed a light fixture because it was given by his granddad or girlfriend or whatever, and the buyer get pissed off, right? So all those things are actually part of negotiation, and negotiation go to the end. So negotiation by a great professional are handled in such a way that he doesn't give away your confidential status on the whole process. That is our job to hide your information, confidential information, like when you want to close, where do you want to move, what are your future plans about this house, what if this doesn't sell. There are so many scenarios. And 2 years back, so this agent came on table with his offer, and he was just addressing my clients. He wasn't even looking at me. He was only focused on the sellers. With his face to the sellers, he was saying, oh, I just want to ask what closing date would you want me to put on the offer? So you know what, I can ask the buyers if they're okay, so you don't have to make any amends. So this is a Remax agent with 30 plus years of experience, and he is someone who would use every tactic to get his offer accepted, from bullying to love to care to being very nice person on this earth. But now the sellers were trained beforehand, so I usually take 15-20 minutes to educate my clients on how to take an offer or how to present an offer if I'm working for the buyers. They were blankly looking at this agent and he kept asking them. So I asked this question from him. I said, Mr. Cooperating Agent, does it matter to you when they want it to be closed? Why don't you just put what your clients are looking at, and if we have to make some changes, we'll do that at our end. So nobody gave any information at this point in time, and he was really frustrated. We closed the sale. Eventually, there were some proposal requested during after home inspection, but we went over all of those objections and we cleared everything, and finally we did the transaction. So guys, if you are a homeowner looking to sell your property, or if you are a buyer looking to buy your first home, and if you want to go direct to the sellers, please hold your horses. Please don't be too much emotional when you go to see the house, because emotions put you at a disadvantage at negotiation table. This is what agents do best, to keep you away from showing your emotions. We are kind of iron screen, a veil between you and the other party, so you get the best transactions. Do not take the negotiation part lightly. Your agent is very much capable of delivering excellence. You have to act like a team with your agent and trust his instincts. So next time you are hiring an agent, just ask him how he's going to market your property, which will be the next topic in future. I will tell you when. So, and how is negotiation process going to go through, because education is what differentiates one person from the other person. There are agents who are recently qualified from the board, but they are awesome agents. Yes, there are agents who went a step further, who took some classes, and they have different perspective, because education and networking are key ingredients for an agent's professional upgradation. So look for the best will come back to you. Thank you very much for being with me here. I'm sorry for the little glitch when my camera battery gave away. I hope you enjoyed this. Your comments, your suggestions are most welcome, and please subscribe to my TV show, which is PC24 Real Estate TV, and I will try to bring a better content next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.